Now that the dust has settled, all the players will be coming to Houston. How are you fit all the players onto the roster, and what are all the details that we found out after the trade deadline? We'll talk about this on today's Locked On Astros podcast.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we update you. Join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on X at Eric Talks Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Guys, go and make the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and check us out. Between Brett and I, we have about 18 years of podcasting experience. So thank you for making us part of your daily routine. We had over 11,000 people that viewed our podcast from yesterday. We did an hour-long show. If you missed it, go back and look at our instant reaction to the Carlos Correa trade, the Jesús Sánchez trade. Why did the Astros not get Dylan Cease? There is so much that we talked about in that podcast. But guys, thank you for becoming the best part of the Locked On Astros podcast. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. Go to 5hourenergy.com and use the promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. Only valid through September 30th. Order transfusion flavored 5 Hour Energy shots today. So guys, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the details that have emerged after the trade deadline ended. What happened? What were the details about the Carlos Correa trade? Then what Dana Brown had to say about the trades, and what did he have to say about Isaac Paredes? And we'll go ahead and talk about the roster moves that's possibly going to have to happen to get all these guys on the roster. So it's like you have a whole bunch of new kids coming to school. Where are you going to put them in the seating chart? So we'll talk about that in a little bit also. And then we also are going to talk about the Red Sox series. What's going to happen? Who's going to be pitching for the Astros? So much to talk about. But I know the Astros have the third best record in the American League. You have the Tigers and the Blue Jays ahead of them. I guess the Blue Jays and Tigers. Blue Jays have the best record. But the Astros have a chance to get back in the top two teams, and their chances have gone up. After this, I believe the odds for the Astros winning the World Series prior to the trade deadline was 5.5%. It went up to 7%. Unfortunately, the Mariners' odds of winning the World Series went up to 7% as well. The Astros' chances of going to the playoffs is now 92.3%. The chances of winning division is 66.1%. Their chances of winning the bye is 39.6%. And so basically everything went up a little bit. So their projected win total is 89.9. So their strength of schedule is 4.499. The Mariners' strength of schedule is 0.498. So the Mariners actually have or I guess this is for the entire schedule season, but they have a worse strength of schedule. I guess they play a lot of teams with not such a good record. But what the Astros did, I know it wasn't like I was doing the squad MLB show yesterday, and one of the Locked On Yankees hosts said, "Yeah, we added 7 players." Well, yeah, you added 7 players, but you didn't really upgrade what you needed. You need starting pitching. Yes, you upgraded your bullpen, but I think that Dana Brown did exactly what he needed. Yes, he could have gone out there and got another starting pitcher, but Dana Brown did exactly what he needed to do. He got the exact 3 players that he needed without mortgaging the future. He gave up a 13th top prospect according to MLB Pipeline. If you're looking at Baseball America, 7th overall prospect. But that That was the top prospect in the Astros farm system that they gave up. The rest of them were considering minimal prospects. So the Astros didn't really mortgage their future. They didn't have to give up a Bryce Matthews. They did not have to give up a Walter Yannick. They didn't have to give up any of their big guys. And they got 3 guys that can help them instantly. Carlos Correa may not be the same guy that he was with the Houston Astros, but he's still going to be an effective player. He's still going to bring that leadership. He's still going to bring that fire. We all remember this guy. Remember? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And what time is it? Just imagine the fire he's going to bring in the playoffs. So I think the Astros just went all in for that. And like we were talking about yesterday, they waited it out. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about these trades. We all know about the Ramon Urias trade. That was kind of a minimal trade. I think that now, like I said yesterday, that kind of gave the Astros the leverage. If we get Carlos Correa, great. But if we don't get him, we already have a third baseman. We have somebody that can cover him. But if we don't get him, we're fine. That gave Dana Brown all the leverage. And the fact that Carlos Correa said that he was only going to accept a trade to the Houston Astros, the Astros had all the cards. They knew that they're going to have to pay a good chunk of Carlos Correa's salary. That was never a question. They were just trying to get the Twins to pay the most amount of money. So, of course, they're going to say, oh, yeah, we want to go ahead and get you to pay almost half of the $102 million. So can you go ahead and pay $50 million of the contract? Of course, the Twins were like, no, we're good. We'll go and talk to you later. So I'm sure the Twins were calling around, talking to Carlos Correa. Hey, which teams would you waive your no trade clause for? Houston. What other teams? Houston. And so part of what Carlos Correa, once the Twins started talking to him about the trade to Houston, he said, well, what position will I be playing? And they said third base. He said, great. I've been trying to get you guys to play me at third base for 2 years now. I want to play third base. So the fact that he's open to play in a position that he has not played is great. And the fact that he's excited about coming to play in this the team with some of the friends that there's some players that are still here that he played with. Definitely Jose Altuve. But the fact that he wants to come here, he's excited. He said his main goal is to get back to the postseason because that's what he signed on for. Yeah, of course, he wanted to get the big bucks. That's the reason why he went with that contract instead of re-signing with the Astros. But at the same time, he loves that energy at Daikin Park. I almost said Minute Maid Park. Daikin Park, World Series, playoffs, whatever it is, that seems to bring out the best in Carlos Correa. And I think that's part of what the Astros have been missing. Yes, they won the World Series in 2022 without him, but I think that this team will benefit from his leadership and everything. But Dana Brown said that he'll give our clubhouse a charge, give the city a charge. And so he said, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but basically these Twins are trying to sell the team and they're trying to unload the contract. So I know yesterday we talked about Bob Nightingale said that the Twins were paying a significant amount. We didn't know what the significant amount was. Now we do. So of the $102 million that's left on Carlos Correa's contract, the Twins will be sending $33 million to the Houston Astros to pay for that contract. I don't know if it's broken up over the years or if it's just a one-time lump sum deal. I don't know that part of it, but that means the Astros are only on the hook for about $70 million of that contract. So there's 3 more years. And so if you divide that by 3, that's about what, 23 point something, something like that, 23 point something million a season for the next 2 years. So it's not a bad deal. You got the Twins to take on part of the deal, and you didn't really give up a lot. You know who the Astros traded? Not a top 30 prospect. They gave up some guy named Matthew. Where is it? Matthew. I had it on my notes, but they gave up a like a high A ball somebody that's not really on Astros radar right now. So this is what the Astros did. They waited it out. And this is something that we talked about on the squad podcast. It's like teams that waited, they paid less. Teams that rushed, oh, let me go ahead and get that done. Okay, thank you, McCuskey. That's who the Astros traded away for Correa. It was not a big-time prospect, but it was a player that the Twins were like, okay, this is a guy we want. And a lot of team, it was just a salary dump. Let's just be clear. The Twins want to get rid of that contract. So overall, I think it's a great deal. We'll go ahead and talk about this as we continue the Locked On Astros podcast. Hey guys, are you tired like I am? I know yesterday was crazy, a lot of trades, refreshing your X feed. Well, what about 5-Hour Energy? It's time to fuel up and turn it up with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor to your favorite golf drink minus the alcohol into a quick, energizing shot. Whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends, this hole-in-one is great for your energy game. Let's be honest, some days on golf course or off of it, you just need extra boost to stay sharp or energized. What's the wildest shot you've ever made? Whether it's at Topgolf or at a 18-hole golf course or maybe even a walking 9-hole golf course. What's the best one you did? I remember being at a golf course one time and my friend shot one from out of the bunker and made it right into the hole. He stripped off his shirt and then did an energy shot right there. But it's just the excitement of the moment, and just that's what the energy can do. So golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. And of course, the grape, the ginger lime flavor gives you the best parts of the clubhouse go-to without chasing down the bev cart. So if you go to 5hourenergy.com today, the number is 5hourenergy.com. You can use my promo code LOCKEDONGolf to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with any other promotions. This code is not good on subscriptions orders. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen on on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check us out. No, the guy that stripped off his shirt was not Brett. No, I actually haven't been golfing with him. We went to Topgolf before, but we've never been actually golfing before. That's something that me and him need to do. But guys, that was exciting yesterday. That was nerve-wracking. The fact that Dylan Cease is not a Houston Astro is kind of a weird situation. But at the same time, we found out afterwards that the Padres were asking too much. And not just the Padres, the Marlins. And that's what Dana Brown said, is that the starting pitching market was too steep. And I think Dana Brown did a good job of not paying too much for that muffler, if you get the reference. But I think while the Astros needed starting pitching, they did trade away Ryan Gusto. He's going to the Marlins. We'll talk about that trade in a second. But according to, I think it was Jeff Passan, I believe he's the one that reported it, the Padres were wanting a package of Spencer Arrighetti. I've also heard that they also wanted Bryce Matthews in that package and 2 other prospects. So, in my opinion, if that matters, putting Bryce Matthews in there is too much, A. B, Spencer Arrighetti, I know that he's struggled at times, but I think that the future is bright with Spencer Arrighetti. When he's on, he could be one of the best pitchers that the Astros have. And so I know he struggled in AAA. I believe it was yesterday he pitched 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and allowed 2 home runs. He did throw 79 pitches, So likely that could have been his last start in AAA. He could be rejoining the Astros for his next start. It all depends on what the Astros feel like after the 4 walks, allowing 2 home runs. But you can't look at the stats. So the Astros felt like, even Christian Javier the other day, he pitched 3 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. I think he threw 64 pitches. So you have these starters that are building themselves up. So to give up a guy like Spencer Getty, Bryce Matthews, and probably other 2 top 30 prospects when the Astros farm system is already a little steep for Dylan Cease, I think that's a little much. And I don't blame the Padres for doing that. They've traded away a lot of prospects to get the players that they have. So they're trying to rebuild their farm system on the go. Dylan Cease is a rental. And so this was I'm not blaming the Padres at all. They wanted to get the most that they could for their player. But the Astros just, at the end of the day, just said, no, that's too much. We want to keep the guys we have. We're going to ball with the guys we have. And so I don't blame them. I think that the Astros did a good job. So before I give you the final grades, we do need to talk a little bit about Jesús Sánchez. I know that we talked about him a little bit yesterday, but now the final trade was announced, and it's pretty much who we thought he was. But the idea was he's going to, of course, it was for Ryan Gusto, infielder Chase Jaworski, who the Astros actually really valued, and they wanted to keep him. But they also valued that left-handed bat. So he was the Houston's number 13 prospect, according to MLB Pipeline, and outfielder Ismael Valencia. So that's what they gave up for Jesús Sánchez. That was actually a pretty big haul. But the plan for him is he's going to be everyday left fielder, go ahead and play some right field at times when Cam Smith needs a break. He's not going to play any center fielder, so don't think that he's going to take over center field or anything like that. But this is going to be a guy that's under team control for 2 more seasons. So this was a total Astros move. They typically go for the players that they have control over for a few years. So that's what they did with Ramon Urias as well. And now they did that with Jesús Sánchez and Carlos Correa. So this is just a perfect opportunity. And so I think that he has 9 stolen bases, 10 home runs. He's got a 104 OPS plus on the season. He's pretty much a decent player. I think he might finish the season with maybe 15 to 16 home runs, maybe 15 stolen bases, something like that. But he's here because they needed a left-handed bat. Whenever Alvarez comes back, hopefully he comes back. This is just another option, and they can kind of structure the lineup for the playoffs. The left-handed hitter was not necessarily for the regular season. It's for the playoffs. It's for just for situational stuff that comes up in the playoffs. So I think that the Astros did a great job there. Carlos Correa for his leadership. He's not the same superstar he was when he left the Astros. Maybe the Astros saw that there's a decline in the future. He's missed a lot of games over the years, but at the same time, they brought in somebody that's going to be a good leader. So I'm trying to see. I think he missed 144 games in his career with the Twins. Here it is. With 5 seasons with the Astros, he had a 4.6 FWAR. And with the 3 seasons with the Twins, or 3+ seasons with the Twins, he had a 3.1 FWAR. So basically, he just wasn't really that great of a player with the Twins. But I think that coming back home, playing with the Astros, he's going to be a much better player. So I'm going to go and give you the grade. This is what I think the Astros did. I'm going to give them a B+. The only reason I'm not giving them an A is I was hoping they'll get another starting pitcher, but they gave I'll give them a high B+. When I say high B+, I mean like 89.999999. I really want to give them A, but I really wanted another starting pitcher because you can't have enough starting pitching depth. Spencer Getty, Christian Javier, Luis Garcia, I'm rooting for them. Can we really count on them to be healthy? That's my only concern. And can the other guys stay healthy? So, right, you've been counting on Ryan Gusto, you've been counting on a whole bunch of other guys, but what they did bring in was exactly what they needed. They needed offensive help. They needed people right now. Jeremy Pena is coming back to the lineup tonight. Guys, Jeremy Pena should be activated for tonight's game. So I'm excited about that. You should be excited about that. We'll go and continue this discussion on the Locked On Astros podcast. Thank you for making this your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. All right, guys, let's go and talk about Game Day Hue. What is Game Day Hue? Well, do you see this awesome hat I'm wearing? It has no logos on it, and it's awesome. And Astros fans like me, this one hits the mark. So, like, when I do take Brett on a golf course, you can wear a hat like this. It has no logo, team-inspired colors, like my Astros colors. If I go back to New York, I can go ahead and wear this. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile styles that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. Whether it's walking down the streets of New York or just walking down the streets of Clear Lake or at Minute Park, it just says, hey, I'm an Astros fan. And so when you're on the golf course, don't forget about the awesome golf gloves. Smells like a hole-in-one, right? So go ahead and go to Game Day Hue. It's awesome. It's split shade gloves. It's made for a golf course, and it's a perfect gift for any fans that has anything. So right now, you get 15% off with the code MLB15 at Game Day Hue. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So right now is the time to load up. Let your colors talk because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com. Code MLB15. Hey guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make us first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go and check us out. So this is the big part of the show. This is where we got to go and talk about who's going down. There's going to be some roster moves. We already talked about yesterday that Shea Whitcomb was optioned down to AAA before all the trades were moved because you've got to add not just the 3 players you traded for, but you also have to add 2 more players because you traded away Ryan Gusto, so you got to add another pitcher. Then you have Jeremy Pena that's likely to be coming back to the lineup, so you've got to add some roster room. And they're playing in Boston, so I'm sure these moves have already been made, but they haven't been made official yet. So that's why I wanted to do the podcast a little bit earlier. And as soon as I'm doing this, I'm sure they're going to be announcing this. But here's what I think is going to happen. You tell me if I'm crazy or if I'm hitting the dot here. So I'm pretty sure that Bryce Matthews is going to be going down. So I'm putting Carlos Correa into Bryce Matthews' spot. Zach Short has done a great job. Zacharias Short, as I call him. I think that he's been a valuable asset to the team, but the Astros have a lot of infielders. And so I think that Ramon Urias is going to go ahead and replace him. But at the same time, this could be a opportunity to just go and DFA Chas McCormick. So for me, it's either Zacharias Short or Chas McCormick. So this is the one that I was going back and forth when Brett and I were talking about it this morning. So I don't know what y'all's opinion. Go and put it in the chat. What do y'all think? But this one's pretty much an obvious one, despite the home run the other day. Maybe they keep him around. I don't know. But Cooper Hummel may be a guy that goes down as well for Jesús Sánchez. That's what I'm predicting. But they can also go ahead and send Short and Chas McCormick down. Well, they have to DFA Chas, I believe, but they could keep the Cooper Hummel. So there's multiple different avenues the Astros could take. It just depends on what they want. If they've seen enough of Cooper Hummel and his awesome pitching ability, then maybe they keep him around. But I think that they may keep Chas McCormick over Cooper Hummel. That's my opinion. So the other person, they don't need to send that many people down. So Matthews, I think he's going to go down AAA. There's no reason to have him down. I see somebody saying, I think that I don't know where it is, but definitely they're going to send Matthews down. If you're not going to play Matthews, there's no reason for him to be up. He came up way too soon because of a need, so they're not going to keep him up here. That's just my opinion. I think Taylor Trammell has been doing a great job. I think they're going to keep him up as a fourth outfielder. I think until Jake Myers comes up, I think Jacob Melton is going to stay as the primary center fielder for right now, maybe getting some platooning with Mauricio Dubon. So we'll see about that. And Shea Wickham's spot, I think, is going to go to the new future GOATs. I guess we can call him that, Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena is going to be returning back to the lineup, and he's much needed because this season has been the MVP. He has been the guy that's driven the team. But I do want to note that one thing that Dana Brown did say is that Isaac Paredes is still seeking a second opinion. I know that Bob Nightingale said yesterday that he's out 6 to 7 months. The hope is that he's ready for 2026. But Dana Brown did say yesterday that they're still seeking a second opinion, see if they do have to have that surgery. So Isaac Paredes, the reason why I bring that up, I know Jeremy Pena has been like that MVP this year, but it seems like this team has been a whole different team since Paredes went down. It doesn't seem like they have the same ability to win, the same offensive ability. So I think Paredes has been a big piece to this team, a big loss. And so somebody needs to step up. If that's Carlos Correa, who's never played third base before, we'll see. So I think that Jeremy Pena will take Shea Wickham's spot. So let me just summarize. Matthews will go down for Correa. Short or Chas will go down for Urias. Cooper Hummel will go down for Sanchez. And Wickham has already gone down for Pena. That's what I think. So I believe for the pitching spot, you have Gusto's spot. So who's going to replace him? Well, for this time, you already have the rotation set for the Boston series. You have Hunter Brown, then you have Colton Gordon, then you have Framber Valdez. So the Astros could do this. Let me pull up the roster. They could bring up an extra reliever just for this series. Somebody that is actively on the roster. We might have to DFA somebody. Let me look at that in a second. I forgot to look at that. But Logan Van Wyck was just activated off the IL in AAA. He's the option to come up. You have Nick Hernandez, who I know everybody loves. He was just optioned down. He's another one. AJ Blueball, he pitched on last Friday, so he has the option to come up. And then Yola, he pitched last Saturday, so he's the option to come up at some point to start. But I'm guessing that they're probably just going to wait to bring up a starter till Eric Getty's ready. So my best guess is that Nick Hernandez is probably on his way to Boston because he's already an option. He's on the 40-man roster. You don't have to DFA anybody. You don't have to make room. Or Logan Van Wyck. Logan Van Wyck, as far as I know, I checked. He was activated on the 29th. I haven't seen that he's pitched yet. So until this is just for an extra reliever, this is a mop up a roll. Let's say the Red Sox are up 10 to nothing or something. You could bring in Nick Hernandez. That's the type of role. This is just an extra reliever for this 3-game series. And then for the next series, you'll need an extra starter. And that's when you'll either bring up Eric Getty or another starter down from AAA. So I'm sure that plan is already in motion. You're going to have to bring up somebody. I'm just not totally sure. There's not a lot of great options down in AAA who are ready. Christian Javier is getting ready, but he's not 100% ready. Like I said earlier, he's only up to 64 pitches. Spencer Arrighetti got up to 79 pitches, so you technically could bring him up. That's numbers aren't great for him, but you can't really pay too much attention to the AAA numbers in a rehab appearance. So if you want my guess, I'm guessing they bring up Nick Hernandez for the 3-game series and then bring up Spencer Arrighetti next week. That would be my guess. So there's not a lot of options down in AAA. They're not that good a team this year, the Space Cowboys, like they were last year, because the Astros have had to use a lot of their players. So, guys, like I said earlier, I give the Astros a B+ for this trade deadline. I really wish they could have got another starter, but I think the Astros still are going to win the division. I think that the Mariners, they did a great job. They went out there and got the offense that they needed. Offense was something that they were weak on, and they addressed it. And they forced the Astros to address it too. But it's how Dana Brown addressed it, which was the most impressive. And so the Astros did not give up a lot of like the big time prospects, and they did it great. And in terms of the luxury tax threshold, the Astros are approximately at 251 million. So they're about 10 million over the first CBT of 241 million. So that's good if they stay under that second CBT. So Jim Crane said, hey, let's go for it. And you have to love an owner that does that. I know that people call him cheap. They say that he doesn't do what he needs to do. He went out and did that. So we'll see. So for those people that weren't here earlier, my bad. I did the numbers wrong. It was 104 million that the Carlos Correa is owed. The Twins are paying 33 million of that. And so that means the Astros are paying about 70 million of that contract. I said 102 million earlier, but his contract runs till 2028. Then there's some team options that are a lot cheaper. And I'm sure if he's playing well, the Astros will pick those up because I'm sure he'll want to stay back in Houston. But Altuve's going to be moving back to second base. I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that. His time in left field will be cut short. He may be playing some DH at times too, especially Urias. Dana Brown did talk about Urias as well. He said exactly what I said. He's going to be giving a lot of players some days off, like Altuve, Correa, and Pena. So look for him to be utility guy. That means that Dubon will likely switch a lot to the outfield because he play more outfield. So I wouldn't be surprised if they send down, maybe they do keep short and send down Chaz and Hummel. So who knows? Who knows what the Astros do? But what I gave you earlier was just my prediction. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go and make this your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go and check us out. Brett and I will be back over the weekend, and we'll go and talk about more about the trades. How did Carlos Correa do against the Red Sox? And how does Bregman look in a Red Sox uniform? How do you do against the Astros? Hopefully not great, but we're going to talk about this on the Locked On Astros podcast. Go Astros.